If you think women don't belong in construction, you might want to learn who helped build the rights you work under, because without them, this industry would look a whole lot different. It's time we celebrate Women in History Month the only way I know how, by spotlighting some of the giants who helped shape the industry we work in. And if you agree and you want to see more, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button before we move on. It's Labor Lines. Let's get into it. Last week, we talked about the women who helped build the labor movement. This week, we're slowing down and looking at what they actually changed. Because you've probably heard their names, you might even know the phrases, but you may not realize how directly their work connects to the standards construction operates under today. Let's start with Mother Jones. At one point, she was called the most dangerous woman in America. That's what powerful men labeled her, because she organized coal miners against company-controlled towns, and that was no small feat, especially back in her day. She led the 1903 March of the Mill Children to protest child labor. Kids were working 12-hour factory shifts, and that march helped shift public opinion about child labor and working conditions. And when public opinion shifts, labor law eventually follows. Without that era of organizing, the idea that workers could demand limits on hours and conditions doesn't become normal. The 8-hour workday doesn't become standard the way it did. Structured overtime protections don't solidify. Some of the core protections we value today start with Mother Jones. Now let's look at Dolores Huerta. You've heard the phrase, "Si se puede," yes we can. That wasn't just a presidential slogan. It came out of organizing farm workers who were considered impossible to organize. Scattered workforce, seasonal labor, very little political leverage. Huerta co-founded the United Farm Workers and helped lead the Great Boycott that pressured major corporations to negotiate contracts. That boycott cost companies money. It forced accountability, and it proved something very powerful. Collective bargaining works even in industries where people say it can't. Once that proof exists in one sector, it strengthens the case everywhere else, construction included. So in the 2010s, when Yes We Can became a rally cry, remember that it started on the back of giants. Then there's Addie Wyatt. She rose into national leadership in the United Packing House Workers. She fought for wage increases and workplace protections, but she also pushed unions to confront discrimination within their own ranks. Some of us have forgotten or maybe just never really knew, but unions were some of the first places that integrated and looked beyond race and gender. Addie Wyatt understood something critical. If labor movements don't evolve, they weaken, and a lot of us could take a page out of her book. If they don't expand opportunity, they fracture. Her work helped strengthen union structure and credibility at a national level. And that matters for construction because apprenticeship systems, wage classifications, and structured bargaining depend on strong, durable labor institutions. Now here's the part that connects all of this to the trades. Before organized labor victories across industries, long hours were normal. Safety expectations were inconsistent. Wage standards were unstable. Child labor was common. Remember, there was no OSHA before 1970, and the rights we work under today took a long time to get there. Standards didn't just improve over time. They were pushed, they were demanded, they were organized. When women led organizing efforts that shifted hours, bargaining power, and wage expectations, those changes rippled across industries. Construction didn't develop in isolation. It developed inside a labor framework shaped by these battles, shaped by these extraordinary women, and shaped by demanding better. So when someone says construction has always been a man's world, that's really only half the story. The labor standards that protect construction workers today were shaped in part by women who organized, negotiated, and pushed industries forward. I've said it before, this month isn't about symbolism. It's about foundation. It's about recognizing the powerhouses these women were and paying homage to them for making the workplace better for all of us. Because next week, we're going to talk about what happens when women don't just build standards, but use collective leverage to defend them. Strikes, wage floors, industry shifts. Because when workers organize, standards move. When labor works together, we all feel the consequences of it. And when women are at the center of many of those turning points, that's something we can't ignore. Don't forget to like this video, and remember, we learn best by shared experience, so keep those comments coming. This is Labor Lines with Alex. As always, be safe, be productive, be well.